This is it. This is the finals of the recent presidential losers spinner battle. These two have done what 10 others failed to do. They got all the way to the end. And today we're going to crown a winner. At the end, we'll talk about what we might do next. But let's get to the candidates. Number one is former U.S. Senator from Kansas and the loser of the 1996 election, Bob Dole. He started at number 5. Number 2 is former Vice President and Senator from California and loser of the 2024 election, Kamala Harris. And she started at number 12. Now, Harris had an absolute monster comeback in the last round, knocking out Walter Mondale. But the slate is wiped clean, and this time it's going to be the first one to 270. So this should be an epic showdown. And I'm sure if you were here, Bob Dole would approve of Bob Dole being in the finals. And Kamala Harris, I'm sure she's just happy to be anywhere at this point. I appreciate everybody that's enjoyed this series and rooting for or against any of the candidates. This could be close, it could be a landslide. The spinner is lurking and ready to hand somebody the keys to the White House. So let's not waste any more time. Let's start in Alaska. 3 electoral votes. Here's the first spin of the finals. It's number 1. It's Bob Dole. He's got 3 down at 267 more to go. Here comes Hawaii. 4 votes at stake, right over the line. Another one for Dole. Next state, Washington. 12 EVs. Here's the spin. 3 straight for Bob Dole. Here comes Oregon. Harris looking for a 2. She's got her first state. It's Oregon, and next it's going to be California, Harris's home state. 54 votes. Massive cache of votes here. Who's going to snag them? That is Bob Dole, number 1. So Dole does have the lead, but we've got a lot of states left. Let's do Nevada. 6 votes. And Harris with her second state. Next, Idaho. 4 votes in the Gem State. Back to Bob Dole. He's got 4 more. Here comes Utah. 6 votes. That looks like a 2, and that is going to go to Harris. Next state, Arizona. 11 votes. Back to Bob Dole. Dole at 88. Here comes Montana. Big Sky Country. Bob Dole again. Wyoming is the next spin. They're holding 3 electoral votes. And that's going to be one for Harris. Let's go to Colorado. Here comes 10 more votes. And that's going to go to Harris. New Mexico. 5 votes. Number 1, Bob Dole. Next state, North Dakota. Number 1, another one for Bob Dole. That puts him at 100. Here comes South Dakota. And this state is going to go to number 1 again. That's going to be Dole. Next state, Nebraska at large. They've got 2 votes. And we're going to give them also to Bob Dole. Dole so far with a strong performance. Let's see if it lasts. Here comes Nebraska's first. And number 1 again for Bob Dole. How about Nebraska's second? This one, again, Bob Dole. Can he do a clean sweep of Nebraska? Here comes the third. No, that is going to go to Team Harris. They've got 1 more. Next state, Kansas. Bob Dole's home state is going to be won by Kamala Harris. That's how it goes sometimes. Let's go to Oklahoma. 7 votes. Number 2, that's going to Harris. Here comes Texas, the Lone Star State. 40 electoral votes. And that is number 1, Bob Dole. He is really serious about winning this race. And he's opened up a 100 electoral vote lead in this finals. Let's go to Minnesota. Harris. We've seen her come back before. Can she do it again? Not yet. Another one for Dole. Here comes Iowa. The Hawkeye State has 6 EVs, and it's going to go to Bob Dole. Missouri is next. Let's spin for the Show Me State. There's one for Harris. She's got 10 more. Now let's go to Arkansas. They've got 6. There's one for Harris. Next, Louisiana. 8 votes. That looks like a 2, and it is, and it's going to go to Harris. The next state is Wisconsin. 10 more votes at stake. Harris, 4 in a row now. That's a streak. Let's go to Illinois. Somebody's about to swipe another 19 votes. And that somebody is Bob Dole. Next state, Michigan, 15 votes. And that is another one for Bob Dole. Next, Indiana, 11 votes. And Harris prevents Dole from getting over 200. Let's do Kentucky, 8 votes. Number 2, that's going to put Harris at 100. She's down by 97. Here comes Tennessee, 11 EVs. Just on the line for Kamala Harris. Reminds me of the finish in the last round. Next, Mississippi, 6 votes. Number 2, Harris getting 6 more. Next, it's Alabama. This state is holding 9 electoral votes, and it's going to be Kamala Harris that taps into them. Next, Florida, 30 electoral votes. That is a lot. Harris needs them bad. Dole does not want to start to feel any pressure. Here comes the spin. That is right over the line for Bob Dole. Number 1. That could be the nail in the coffin, but it's not over yet. Let's do Georgia, 16 votes. Harris got to put up a 2. And that is not a 2. That is right inside the line for number 1 again, Bob Dole. You never want to say it's over, but I don't know if Harris is up to another impossible comeback. Let's see what happens on South Carolina. 9 votes. And it's going to go again to Bob Dole. Here comes North Carolina, 16. Kamala Harris is going to claim the Tar Heel state. Next, Ohio, 17 votes. It's got to be a 2, and it is. Harris stays alive. West Virginia is next, 4 electoral votes. That's going to be claimed by Bob Dole. Next, we go to the northeast corner, Maine at large. They've got 2 votes. And Harris needs anything she can get, and she's got 2 more. Here comes Maine's first. 1 electoral vote is going to be claimed by Bob Dole. Next, Maine's second. Number 1, Bob Dole. Next, New Hampshire, 4 electoral votes. That's going to be 2. That's going to go to Harris. Vermont is next, 3 electoral votes in the Green Mountain State. And it's going to Bob Dole, number 1. So we've reached the point where Bob Dole can win it here on New York, 28 votes. Harris pretty much has to win out. She's got almost no space to spare. This could be everything right here. Here it is. Is it a 2? It looks like it's going to be, and it is. Harris picks up 28 more. The problem for her is she's got to do it again right here on Massachusetts, 11 votes. If it's a 1, Dole wins. Here it is. That is a 1. Bob Dole has clinched it here on Massachusetts. He's at 272. That's more than 270. So Dole is the winner of the recent presidential losers spinner battle. First, let's finish up and see if it's a landslide or if Harris comes back. Let's do Connecticut. That's the next spin. And Bob Dole still doing it. He's got 7 more. The next state is Rhode Island. And 4 votes are also coming Bob Dole's way. And next we've got New Jersey, 14 votes. And this is looking like it might be a landslide because that's also going to Dole. Next, Delaware. The first state has 3 electoral votes. And that state is going to put Bob Dole right at 300. Next, it's Maryland, and they've got 10. Dole looking for 310, and he's got it. Next, Washington, D.C. 3 votes. Harris hoping to finish over 200, but she's not going to get anything here. That's going to go to Dole again. Dole on a hot streak here with the pressure off. Next, we've got Pennsylvania, 19 votes. Here comes the spin. And yet again, Bob Dole. The spinner really friendly to Dole here at the end. I think that's actually 8 spins in a row. That's remarkable. The final spin of this series is Virginia, 13 votes. Here it is, Harris looking to go over 200. She can't do it. Bob Dole finishes with 9 in a row. and he gets a monster 345 electoral votes. Harris only 193, and this series is over. Not a nail biter this time. Bob Dole pummels Kamala Harris. But one thing Harris has going for her is she did win some states here, coast to coast. Oregon, all the way through North Carolina, they all connect. You can't say the same for Dole. But that pretty much wraps things up. It's been an exciting series. Harris did have maybe the best comeback we've ever seen, but she didn't have enough here for the finals. Congrats to Bob Dole, and thanks to everybody that enjoyed this series. I'm not exactly sure what we're going to do next, but I know that there's always been a bunch of different suggestions. Could do the same thing with vice presidents or previous spinner battle winners or spinner battle losers. Couple different options. I'm not sure what's going to happen. Again, these videos don't necessarily get a ton of views, but hopefully that changes. So if you had Bob Dole from the very beginning, congrats, you picked out a winner. And no shame to Harris getting in second place. That was impressive. So that's it. Let me know in the comments. Are you excited about Dole or are you depressed about Harris? How did your picks do from the very beginning, and what do you think about this final map? Let me know down below on your way out. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Join if you'd like to help support the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.